I am Stage Door Johnny, and I'm here at the Birmingham Alex Theatre with Matthe, Rafe, and Felicity, who play the head, heart, and hind of Joey the horse in Warhorse, which is here for the rest of the week. How have you been finding Birmingham?
Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah, great audiences.
Yeah.
Really good weather as well. Really nice. In our breaks.
Have you too?
Yeah, I can imagine. How has it been being Joey in this temperature? Because I know that horses don't fare too well in the heat.
It's pretty toasty.
Yeah. Very physical job.
Yeah.
So,
But we're looked after well, so we get ice buckets, mainly really for our hands actually in between shows. Not for the heat, but the heat does. The ice bucket helps.
So is the ice bucket something that's just as standard regardless of the temperature?
Yes.
yeah, heart recovery.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
We use obviously our hands get a big workout in this show. So, I mean, Fliss is in the hind she's constantly moving her hands up and down these rods and
Two
using
ski
these,
poles.
Right.
and using like brake cables for the tail. I'm constantly doing this to move the front legs, and Matt's constantly gripping onto the head, and it's
Wow.
quite heavy.
Yeah.
So by the end of the show, we need to ice our hands just for a bit of recovery, stop the blood.
Yeah.
Ready for the next one.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I can imagine on a 2-show day. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, in this weather, it's been having the ice buckets in the dressing room. Normally, if you play a prank on somebody and if you freeze pour water on them, they're really annoyed. But here we're like,
Bring it on. Bring it on. Great. And what is it like in terms of like warming up for a show as well? I imagine it's so physically intense that it's quite an intensive.
Yeah, we've all got our kind of specific warm-ups because we all use slightly different muscles.
Right.
Because you can't really replicate it in the gym, like the muscles you use. So I tend to use a lot more shoulders. Rafe tends to use a lot more forearms. And Fliss, your legs are always knackered, aren't they?
Yeah. But we're lucky because we tour with a physio.
Right.
So she gives us set plans. Actually, pre the job, we were given physio plans to start at the gym.
Oh wow.
So we kind of were building that basic strength for the show. And then now we get to see her kind of once a week or whenever we need to. And then we also have a movement captain, and he leads our warm-ups.
Right.
So we're lucky, we're looked after.
Yeah.
it's a 30-minute warm-up before each show.
15-minute vocal.
Right.
As well.
That's what I wanted to ask as well, is about the different sounds that Joey makes. Are you responsible for different bits of his voice, or are you collectively the same voice?
Yeah, we're collectively
Yeah.
the horse.
Yeah.
In all aspects. I mean, sound-wise, if one of us feels the need for a sound at a certain part, then they will start the noise, and the other two will join in to complement that and create a full horse noise. But there's nothing set. It's all just in the moment. So
wow.
every show's different, and so it's all, we just have to listen to each other a lot. We've got very close over the last year in terms of we can communicate through breathing, through horse noise, through tiny body movements, and
we have kind of picked up now what sort of elements we're going to bring to the noises.
Right.
So like Fliss is very good at the high stuff, and then we kind of add more resonance to it.
Yeah.
rumbles and lower noises.
Do you want one?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We could give a couple. Do you want to do a Winnie?
Yeah.
I am thrilled. Absolutely thrilled. That's incredible.
And then there are just sort of like, we have little noises for various moments. We can do little grumbles.
Yeah. But we during our puppetry training, we kind of studied horses, and we learned what all the different sort of sounds mean. You know, when they're aggressive or playful,
Brilliant.
scared.
Yeah, we actually went to the household cavalry. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
So we just got to.
We walked through the stables, and the soldiers showed us sort of everything that they had to do with the horses, and met all the horses and watched them go and do a bit of training and get ready to go out on parade. So we were sort of like there while they were tricking them all.
It was great. We were just watching and listening, and I think I just had loads of videos of the hinds of horse.
And what kind of things would you be looking out for in that observation?
So like little ticks and mannerisms, like little quirky things.
Micro movements, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes you want to do these massive movements, and actually just like this, the tiniest movement reads well on stage. And horses actually, we realised, don't move that much.
Right.
Yeah.
We would talk about emotional triggers. Mine would be the tail. What would yours be?
So I've got the breath. I've got like a channel that my legs sit in, so I control the breath of the horse. So if he's nervous, it'd be a bit lighter and quicker, and if he's exhausted, it'd be a bit heavier.
Yeah. So I control the eye line, the horse.
Right.
But I use the ears for a lot of that because horses can see all around them, except from directly behind them and a little triangle in front of their eyes. So I can tend to look at things by just moving an ear, but the ears also work as an emotional indicator because, you know, if Joey's scared, you can throw them backwards and shows you the audience how he feels towards a person,
And
which is really fun.
It's nice because we're constantly watching inside the cage. Well, I am inside the cage. I'm watching Rafe and Matt, and also like the head of Joey. You're watching it. You are thinking like a horse in the horse. I'm watching here, but I'm also using my peripheral to watch what's around me.
Yeah.
And if Matt twitches the ear, okay, well, how does that affect me in the hind? And
Also the height, isn't it?
yeah,
Like, you know, if they're alert, their head's a lot higher, whilst when they're just relaxed, they can be, you know, looking for the next meal or...
That's one of the things I wanted to ask about is the way that your 3 puppeteers operating one enormous puppet. And how's that different to if you're just operating one? To have that connection with each other when you're part of a larger animal.
This puppet job is probably different to any other job. Like this one's in a league of its own because we're in horse for such a long time during a show. Us then making that work together is such a close, specific kind of relationship. So and it's built over the course of the last year. If you looked at us a year ago, it was nothing like it is now. But it's just a case of listening to each other and feeling the cage, feeling the push and pull, because the slightest movement in the cage, we can feel each other. And then breath as well. We can tell from each other's breathing what's going on, what's in our heads. So the trick is to try and get all of our heads into the same thought process, which has been it took a long time to get there, but now it's so insane. It's a joy to do it.
I think that's why we have 4 different teams that rotate and do the 2 horses.
Right.
Wow. And it's really interesting when you talk to some of the actors who have the speaking roles, they say, depending on what team is on that night, it's a different horse.
Wow.
Honestly, I think probably every night is different for us anyway. We have maybe set blocking, but we are improvising every night. We're communicating as a team every night. I think that's why after over a year, we still find it so fresh and exciting. We still love it. But I agree. I think there is nothing like this job and like puppeteering the horses and working together so strongly and having such a strong, close bond. It's actually it's quite wonderful. I mean, we puppet the crows and we do the swallows. I do the goose, the soldiers, the mustering nurses. We have experience with all the other different puppets in the show, but I don't know if you totally agree, but I think the big horses are up there.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the surprise for audiences as well, because the horses are so iconic, obviously in the title as well, but the amount of puppetry that's throughout the show and the way that it's used is just so incredibly beautiful. I think that's all part of its charm. Have you got any favourite puppets outside of Joey?
Mine's the goose.
Right.
I love the goose as well. I have so much fun with the goose.
So when we're playing Topthorn, Felicity plays the goose.
So I start the show doing the goose.
Nice.
And then, the goose comes off on one scene, and then we go into horse, and then we're Topthorn for the rest of the show. But yeah, I just love playing the goose. I felt quite nervous playing the goose at the beginning because I think it's so well loved and received. I felt the pressure to kind of actually just deliver, but I have so much fun with the goose. She's so cheeky, and it's a nice relationship with Joe as well, Castleton, who plays he plays the mother in the show, because I think I always see the goose as her kind of pet.
Also like Topthorn.
Yeah.
He's a completely different horse. He works as a puppet, he works differently, but also his character is so the opposite of Joey, so that's really fun.
Yeah,
especially as a team, to find those differences.
Yeah, I didn't know prior to this that you also doubled as Topthorn in certain shows as well. So what are some of the comparisons or differences between
So
like
Joey's
those
very,
roles?
Well, he's a thoroughbred horse.
Thoroughbred.
Yeah.
Thoroughbred, half giraffe.
Or
he's a farm horse. He's been brought up on a farm. He's been brought up by Albert as his best friend. So he's got this really sort of rural,
pureness, isn't it?
yeah, like he's an earthy, friendly, loyal. He's a friend to his other buddy, and they play in the countryside together. Topthorn is military, born and bred. He's very stoic. He's like a military horse.
Yeah, really
he's got
fiery.
guts, and he's powerful, and doesn't take any nonsense. He doesn't want to play. He wants to do his job.
And how do you put those different characteristics into the movements? How do you interpret that into the physicality of those horses?
It's something we work on through the training that we do. So before we start full company rehearsals, we did 2 weeks of purely puppetry work, and that was us kind of building the characters and finding how. So Topthorn, we're sort of a lot more muscular and a lot more sort of up. There's a lot more head muscularity from Matt. My front legs are a lot sort of like firmer and staccato, and whereas Joey is a bit more fluid, a bit more relaxed and ploddy. And
I think how they react to the external things is where their personalities are shown to the audience. Because say if there's a gunshot or explosion, Topthorn's been bred to not react, and it's being beaten out of him, whilst Joey is still a horse in its purest form, so he's fight or flight.
And there's a beautiful part of the story is that at the start of the show, Topthorn is the alpha out of the two horses. They become friends quite quickly, but Topthorn is very much the alpha, and Joey looks up to him, and Topthorn leads the way. And throughout the course of the show, the roles switch, which is a really lovely line to play in both horses, is how those characters change. And actually Joey becomes almost looking after, he looks after Topthorn by the
Definitely. We have the horse fight as well, and that's brilliant because we get to play both parts. It's really helpful actually puppeteering both horse, but that's just really fun to play, isn't it?
We tend to give ourselves a word or a phrase before the show. Like Topthorn will be like fiery, muscular, whereas Joey we can be like youthful, like cheeky, like just little words that help tune us into characters.
And we did in rehearsals, we made sort of character sheets of both horses, so we can look at them and say, these are characteristics of Joey, these are characteristics of Topthorn. So in a show, before a show, we can just sort of say, let's play these characteristics. Let's really bring those ones out, and it makes it.
There's so much to think about, like because you're listening and everything, and people are talking at you, and how would you feel towards them? It's just nice to be on the same wavelength in terms of personality.
Yeah. You've spoken a lot about listening to each other as the horse together, and also as the external influences on the horse, but is there a sense of the audience, and what is that response like when the horse first comes out?
I think it's really cleverly designed, because the show starts with baby Joey, who's one of my favourite puppets. Thanks for asking. And it's like the basic form of a puppet, so the legs don't bend. They still make all the noises themselves. There's a head, heart and hind, and it just makes the audience really believe, because they have to use their imagination so much that by the time Big Joey comes out, which is a more developed puppet, they just believe it.
And it's clever because we never try and hide the puppeteers. They're really plain sight, and like Matt said, it forces the audience to use that imagination. And I don't know, I think you get a lot of audience members almost feeling like children again. They see the tiny swallows when they come out, and they're having to use their imagination. So by the time Joey comes out in transformation, it's just almost quite overwhelming. I think
that transformation from baby Joey to Big Joey is probably my favourite part of the show. It's lots of people's favourite part of the show. And I was lucky enough to do a show watch a while ago, and I was blown away by how good that looks from the audience. And so now every time we do transformation in Joey, I'm really aware of the audience because I'm like, this looks great.
Yeah, it's incredibly captivating, and I think as well. So I think this might be the 4th time that I'm watching the show as well. I might not use this bit because it might be a bit spoilery, but the moment when the horse dies, is it Topthorn that dies? Yeah, and the puppeteers leave when you've not been aware of their presence at all, but all of a sudden this physical presence of their life force just leaving, and how lifeless.
It really feels like the spirit's leaving.
Yeah,
I think
it's incredible.
Because we had Toby Sedgwick in, and he said he wanted it to be like the soul was leaving the body, and that's why we take our time to come out and have a breath and leave. And I think it is. But we get it all the time. Audience members come and grab us at stage door, and they say, "Oh my God, it was like the puppet."
We didn't know you were there.
Yeah, you're right. We stopped seeing you. Even my mum came and watched it, and she said, "I kept getting really annoyed at myself because I kept saying no. Watch Fliss in the back. Watch Fliss." She said, "I just kept forgetting you were in the back." And I said, "That's exactly what we want, Mum. That's exactly what we want." But we get it all the time. So I think you're right. But when it happens at the end and you do see us, it's that reminder. Like,
yeah, and also it must be such a difficult job to do, to know that you've done it well when you've almost been disregarded.
Yeah.
I love that. I really love it. It's really strange as a performer to kind of think, I don't know, take pride in that no one knows who you are when you walk out stage door, but it's so good. It's such a nice sort of sense of accomplishment that you walk out of stage door and people will be there like seeing the actors and go, "Oh, come sign our program," and we just walk straight past and we've been Joey that night.
I think it's all about where we put our attention as well. Like if we're focused on the horse, but especially because the audience can see the head. If the heads are focused on Joey, then the audience will just go straight there.
Yeah.
So as long as we keep our attention on what we're doing, the audience will as well.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We've just got one last little thing to do, which is the good old, why should people come and see Warhorse?
This show, I think, appeals to everybody, whether you're, I mean, they say 10 years plus to come and see it. And from the age of 10 to the age of 110, you get something really special out of watching this show. It's got everything. It's got humor, it's got love, it's got friendship, it's got
loyalty,
it's got grit and drama and
music, wonderful music, wonderful staging and lighting and illustrations, and
it's got Fliss, Rafe, Matt.
What could you want? More could you want?
Your escape.
Perfect. But thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed meeting you all, and thank you for the winnies. I've been perfect.